Who are you?
Deep down, I am just a scared boy who wants his mum. I've just had a rough trot of it and I've just lost my way.
Dive into it.
Jimmy Roche grew up in chaos, drugs, violence, and a stolen childhood.
By 12, he was making speed. By 18, robbing banks.
Hardened in prison and used by London crime families,
They stole my innocence, but I thought that was expected of me all the time.
So straight away from a young age, your life's been turned upside down.
I can take myself to a place that most people probably can't.
his hunger for power and violence knew no limits.
No limits for you.
There ain't no limits for me now.
But what happens when the most feared man seeks redemption?
How did you deal with losing your mum? Before we jump into today's episode, we've noticed that 71% of people watching right now are not subscribed. If you're watching this, you're clearly enjoying it. Here's our promise to you. Hit subscribe and we'll keep raising the bar, bringing you the biggest and best guests yet. Sharper conversations, bigger guests, and unfiltered conversations that others won't dare to do. Hit subscribe now. Jimmy, it's a pleasure to have you here on the show.
Pleasure to be here.
You've built your life being feared by everyone. Is that who you truly want to be known for? A feared man?
No, not at all. Not really.
Who are you?
One of the reasons I wanted to come here today was to clear a few things up, which I'm going to clear up. Who am I? What really? Deep down?
Deep down, who are you?
Deep down, I am just a scared boy who wants his mum. That's basically the short and fat of it. But along the way, I mean, I've never been one for victim blaming, or I've never been one for blaming other people for stuff. But I've just had a rough trot of it, and I've just lost my way all the way down the line, and I've never had a break.
Guys, welcome to the BlueTick Show. Opposite me today, I've got Jimmy Roche. Been through everything. Anything you think, he's done it. Literally. From being in prison in the army, to witnessing people get shot, to being a debt collector, for working for crime families. Literally everything you can think of, this man opposite me has done it. But the moral of the story is, he's turned his life around now and he's doing better. So he's here today to tell his story. Listen, pleasure having you here on the show.
Thank you.
Before we dive into what I've just told, literally all the crazy stuff, let's talk a little bit about your upbringing. Who are you and where are you from?
I'm from Birmingham originally.
Okay.
So I was born in Good Hope Hospital. But mum and dad split up when I was very young.
Tell me, dive into it. How was it like when your family split up?
My family split up when I was about 7. Now my dad was a heroin addict all his life. So he was a heroin addict. My mum had done her best that she could. So she had 4 children. So she used to have 5 jobs. The upbringing, my dad was not a very good man, obviously, took drugs. So I grew up with the drug taking and watching him chuck his life down the toilet. He used to beat us. It's a bit of a cliche, but we all grew up on a council estate, and it was just the upbringing of my childhood was just not the greatest. That's basically.
There was a turning point in your life at 10 years old. And before we dive into that, one thing we need to understand is you're not sat here saying it's a sob story. You're not saying that you're any different from anyone else. You had a bit of a shit upbringing. Fair play. You did. Let's not cut the bullshit. You had a shit upbringing.
Yep.
But there was something that happened at 10 years old that I'm not sure if shaped you as a man is the right term, but it turned your life a little bit upside down. Imagine getting paid just for playing games ready on your phone. Sounds fake, right? It's not. Let me show you. This app is called Free Cash. You can earn real money just by completing simple surveys or even playing games. I picked this game, Coin Master. Literally just played a few levels and instantly started earning some real money. What stood out to me was how easy it is. Free Cash has a 4.8 star Trustpilot rating. So thousands of people are cashing out daily. It's not just me. And you can withdraw straight to PayPal, Bitcoin, or even an Amazon gift card. I personally choose PayPal. Hit withdraw and boom, money was in my account right away. Super fast, super simple. That's what I like the most. So if you want to make money from your spare time, download Free Cash right now using a link in my description or the pinned comment. And here's the kicker. You'll get a £5 bonus as soon as you complete your first offer. Easy money.
I'd say really it turned me into a man, but when you're sexualized at a young age, or the usual course of things is you meet someone, you like someone, you kiss them. I'm not going to be coarse about it, but you might stick your fingers up them, or I'm not going to dress it all up. You get feelings for them sort of people, and then you progress on. See, I didn't have any of that, so it was basically take your pajamas off. This is what's happening. Now there were two of these girls, and they were foster kids from up the street. So in doing that, what they really done was they, I don't know, not stole my innocence, but I never. I thought that was expected of me all the time. Now they were 16, 17-year-old women, really. And I was 10 years old. I never had any pubic hair, and I couldn't even come. So it was just not a great start to a romantic life or whatever it was. So I was sexualized at a young age, basically. But
10 years old is a very young age.
Very young age. But when, like I said, when that happens, then it's sort of I don't know. I mean, so I'm having threesomes at 10 years old. So your outlook on life, or your chances of meeting a girl, and sort of you're not going to look at them the same.
No, definitely. Of course not. Listen, anything like that happening at 10 years old, of course it's going to make you think differently. You're probably thinking, what, is this what's expected of me? Is this who I am? Like, is this what people want from me?
You hit the nail on the head, exactly what. But so every girl what I met, I thought, this is what they want. Ultimately, this is what they want.
When in reality, most women think it's the other way around. They think that's what a guy wants.
Yeah.
It's been flipped on you. So straight away from a young age, your life's been turned upside down. Moving on to when you was about 12 years old, something happened with you and your uncle. What happened?
I'm going to say my uncle, but a family member, let's just say a family member.
Crop that part out let me just re-ask the question.
Yep,
just crop this out. When you was 12 years old, something happened with you and a family member.
A family member. Now, this is what, so my dad's gone. Now, this is a bullet point what I'm going to keep coming back to. That's one bullet point. Another bullet point is addiction. So you've got to be very careful. This is why I do what I do at the moment. Mm-hmm. This is why I do what I do at the moment in this present time. Because I think when you're young and your mind is not developed yet, and you've got to be very careful of who you look up to, or you think of your heroes, or you think he's the man. The family member, because I was naughty all the time, and I was, I don't know, let's say an easy target. I was always in trouble. Would I say I was groomed? Yeah, I would say I was groomed into that sort of life. So at that age, he used to use my room as his little den to make stuff. I mean, it was that back in them days, it was speed. So 2 bowls, a sieve, a gram of base, 6 grams of that, make 7 of them, blah, blah, blah. But while we were doing it, it was all clever and it's all big.
So he taught you how to make speed? It was you and him doing it together?
12 years old. So wow. This is someone that I looked up to. So and he always had money. He always had loads of friends. He was the man to me. I had no father figure. So
he was your father in hindsight. He was trying to play that role.
Yeah, basically that. So, but
in reality, he was just turning you into his.
A cunt. The man's a cunt, really. But for doing that, we can carry on into that anyway. But that's not the only thing what happened. But
before we dive into that, do you have a relationship with that man today?
No, I don't have a relationship with any of my family whatsoever. There's only one person I talk to out of my family, and that's my dad's brother's wife. That's it. Other than that, I've got no family whatsoever.
That man that you say is a cunt, if you saw him today, what would it be like?
I wouldn't speak to him. I've said that I'm not going to raise my hands to another man ever again. I'm really trying to. I'm really trying to change. I've completely changed my life around. But
if you saw him 20 years ago,
if I saw him 20 years ago, God knows what happened. But he's just a piece of shit, so far as I'm concerned. So
when we talk about these stories, and we obviously talk about your past, your upbringing, how does it make you feel?
Sad, really. Sad because, my other brothers and sisters, they had the same upbringing, but I was always different to the others. So maybe I was an easy target.
Because you know what it is? A lot of people watching this podcast, and obviously later on as we dive into what you have done in your life and the violence you've done, the crimes you've committed, who you are as a person, there's a lot of people who probably are going to look at you and think you're a disgusting human. But one thing we need to address is you have got feelings, you have got emotions, you do feel upset. That's why I asked you that question, how your upbringing is, because people probably judge you straight away. Even to look at you, you don't look like the most approachable man in the room. So people must judge you straight away. How does it feel when people judge you and automatically they make you seem like a violent man or a criminal, even now today, now you turn your life around? Guys, before we dive into the rest of this episode, if you're enjoying this episode and want to see this guest back for a part 2, make sure you scroll down, smash that like button. Let's aim for 2,500 likes. If we get it, we'll bring them back for part 2. We'll see you soon.
The thing is with it is I had to, because of my upbringing and because all these things were happening to me, I feel like I needed to be, not saying I'm not bigging myself up, I needed to be bigger. I needed to look different. I needed to act different because I had to grow up very fast. And that was the problem. So I needed to be better than everyone else. It saved me, if that makes sense.
Let's take it back then. 12 years old, you was whipping it up with your family member, making drugs, selling drugs, XYZ.
Yep.
What happened?
What happened?
In sense, what happened? You was doing it all, but how did it stop? Did something happen that stopped it? Did it stop? What changed?
I just, I liked the fact that I was doing it. It was back in the day. Everyone was sort of doing it. So I don't know. I sort of looked up to him. I thought he's the man. He's got all these friends. He's got loads of money. So that was just I thought this is going to be my trade. This is what I'm going to do. And this is another bullet point I want to make is addiction is another massive thing in my life. I get addicted to things very quickly. And when I do get addicted to stuff, I want to try and be the best at what I do, whether it be drinking, sniffing cocaine, selling drugs. I would like to be the top of the tree. That's just part of my personality. Or whether it be running, whatever it be, I like to try and be the best at what I do.
But in your head, you wanted to be the biggest and best drug dealer?
Oh, mate, yeah. I don't mind admitting it now. I just wanted to be a step above the rest. But at the time, I thought he was the man. He was the man about town. He was
that guy.
But now I'm at this age, which is nearly 50. I look back and I think, what was it? Because he didn't actually do anything. The way he used to talk was, I run this town and blah, blah, blah. But basically the short and fat of it is he was a piss pot fucking bottom end drug dealer who used to sell speed pills, maybe buy 1,000 pills, make £1 on each one and make £1,000. And that was big time. But yes. Obviously the way I come up and the way I climbed up the ladder was completely different.
You got to remember, you was very young. You was very young. You was 12 years old.
Impressionable, yeah.
You was 12 years old. Even £50 a lot of money to a 12-year-old.
Of course.
Let alone if he's making thousands of pounds, you're seeing wads of cash. You're thinking, oh my God, this guy is he's the main man.
Yeah. In
your head, that's what you're thinking. Obviously, like you said, you overtook him. You ended up becoming your own man, and you've done things way bigger than he's probably ever done.
Yep.
As you grew older, Let's talk about when you're around 13, 14. What happened in your life?
13, 14, I got sexually abused again. My mum was a really nice person. She never had anywhere to stay, so she brought this girl home who never had nowhere to go. So anyway, I ended up sleeping with her because, again, I was years ahead of my time, so I thought
That's a norm.
this is the normal thing to do. But I was very bolshy. I was, like I said, years ahead of my time, so I was not put myself out there, but I don't know. I must have been a very attractive 13-year-old. Well, I don't really know, but so I ended up sleeping with her as well. But she was sort of like 21.
Wow.
So I'm sort of, I don't know. I'm progressing along the lines of growing up very, very quickly.
And this is while you're all still selling drugs, doing your thing.
Yeah. I started drinking in pubs when I was about 14 years old.
Okay.
That was just a done thing them days. But I was stealing off the family member because he used to leave all his drugs in my mum's house. So I used to take the drugs because I knew how to make them. I used to take a bit out. I was able to put glucose with them and then go up the pub, and there was two doormen who was up there who sort of knew the family, so my family. So I used to walk in there. How you doing, mate? Yeah, look, boom. And so come in, you can have a drink. He's drinking with us. That was it. So I was drinking in pubs when I was 14 and just earning a lot of money.
Any dramas when you were 14 in the pubs?
Yeah, I was rolling around with people all the time. I mean, I could go on about different stories when I was fighting when I was younger, but I just grew up violent. I boxed since I was 10 years old as well. So I was an amateur boxer. I mean, there's a story I could tell.
Tell me.
Well, I had a fight in Swindon on the way home from school one day, and then his brother come home at the weekend, and he was actually in the army, and he sent his brother round to sort me out. Now, we was all having dinner at the time, and my mum's gone to the door, and he's gone, get fucking Jimmy out of here because he's fucking beat my little brother up, blah, blah, blah. I'm young then. So he's come up and he said, right, get him out of here. My mum knew what I was like. So she said, if you really want me to go and get him, I'll go and get him. But I'm just warning you, if he does come out here, he will have it. He doesn't give a fuck. So I went out there and just fucking beat him all around the garden. But my mum, she was such a lovely person. She helped him up and said, well, you sort of learned your lesson, blah, blah, blah. But I was always in and out of trouble.
So you went outside, battered this older, right?
Mate, yeah, he was about 16, 17, this lad. So this is, again, I was sort of building a little bit of a reputation up when I was young. Just an uncontrolled, I don't know. When I was young, I was just a force to myself. I didn't give a fuck about nothing.
And with you, you didn't fear no one?
Fear's not an emotion. I think fear with me is not an emotion I've got. I don't look at things like I should. I don't get why people are scared of other people because everyone's the same.
Yeah.
Everyone's got two arms, two legs, and a head. Everyone bleeds red. But I think it comes down to how far you're willing to go. Or, I mean, I can take myself to a place that most people probably can't. And that's what frightens a lot of people. That's the issue. But it just depends if you want to go down that road.
How far was you willing to take it?
I'll go all the way with it. I don't like losing. I don't. It's just, I've just got a very nasty temper. And I would go all the way. It just depends on the situation. But
no limits for you.
No
limits for you.
There ain't no limits for me now. And that's do you know what? That worries me more than, I mean, at the moment in my life, I don't go out anymore. I'm recluse. But I'll come to that later. But I don't go out anymore. Not because, I mean, you'll see me walking a dog at 6 a.m. or going and have a Costa coffee. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't take drugs. I don't go down the pub. I keep myself to myself. I don't do anything.
When did you work out? When did you actually look at yourself and think, you know what? I've got no limits. This is dangerous.
Probably when I come out the army.
Okay.
Well,
later on in your life.
During that as well, during my service, even before my service. It was just, again, I'll come back to the bullet point of addiction. As soon as I start enjoying something, I want to take it to the next level. I mean, most debt collectors used to just give them a punch in the face was never good enough. It started to be boring. So I'd like to take it to the next level instead.
Let's talk about a big change in your life. The first time you ever went to prison.
Yeah.
18 years old.
18 years old, yeah.
What happened? Talk us through the story. Why did you go to prison?
I'd done a bank robbery. The problem is with this is I did a podcast before and it got sort of used against me. So the more horrific things I talk about, shorts were put out and stuff like that, and like it was on Mother's Day and things like that. So I've come here today to clear a lot of stuff up, but also all I'm saying is I made a massive mistake when I was 18. Now looking back, a massive mistake, and spent a long time in jail. Paid the price if you want, but made a lot of contacts in there.
Can we talk about what you done?
The escalation. So I was selling drugs. I went. I always wanted to go to the next level with everything. Where I wanted to sell more drugs. I wanted to make more money. I wanted to do something different. I wouldn't mind going to prison. It wouldn't bother me. I fancied the challenge, if that makes sense. So I went and done something stupid in Macclesfield. That's all I want to go into with that. But yeah, I went in there with a sawn off and I mean, the details are the details. We did manage to get away with it, to be honest with you.
You didn't manage?
No, we did. We got away with it for about 2 weeks.
How much did you take from the bank?
£40,000, which at the time was like
walked in with a shotgun,
£1 million.
Give me the money, handed it over.
It was an inside job anyway.
It was an inside job.
Yeah, but the bloke who I'd done it with, I'm not going to name him, but the bloke who I'd done it with was a fucking complete twat. So he actually finished with the girl who was the inside information because he got away with it. When he told me what he'd done, I went, the fuck? She's just getting a towel, isn't she? Then we got caught in an hotel with it.
And they took the money, took everything?
They took the money, took everything.
How long did you serve?
3.5 years out of 5.
First time ever going to prison?
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
No, not very nice. But then again, there was a little bit of me that thought, this is going to be exciting. I'm going to go to this place and I'm going to meet all these criminals. I'm sort of climbing the ladder. I'm going to the next level with it.
So you saw it more as a networking thing than even prison. You never saw it as a punishment. You saw it as, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to meet loads of new criminals and I'm going to come out a better criminal.
Because I didn't give a fuck. That was the issue. I haven't given a fuck all my life about stuff. School, having sex, selling drugs. It was all part and parcel of my childhood. Again, I'll come back to that point of just be careful of who you look up to.
So for you,
I'm not someone that anyone should get excited about or think, oh, that's mad. I think it's fucking ridiculous and stupid.
Was there any issues while you was in jail?
Yeah, there was an issue while I was in jail. I got stabbed the second day I was in there.
What happened? Are you still paying 40% tax and wondering why you're not getting ahead? Bro, the game is different now. If you're still stuck in the UK bleeding cash every year, ask yourself this: why? Dubai offers 0% tax, insane lifestyle and a booming business hub. And the best part, you can get full residency, legally and fast, without jumping through hoops. We've partnered with the team that handles everything: the visa, the business setup, and even the bank account. You don't need to lift a finger. All the information you need for Cranbrook Legal is in the link in the description.
They come into my cell and said, right, give us your burn. I didn't smoke. I've always trained. So I said, I don't fucking smoke. Then one of them said, give us it, fucking blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I just fucking thought, fuck you. So I stood up and just ran at them. They run down the corridor, and then that was it. I screamed and shouted at them, went back in my cell. Next day, I've gone in for a shower. 2 lads, they were African American. They come up while I was had fuck all on. One of them stabbed me in the chest, between the ribs. So I managed to turn around and grab him by the neck. The other one didn't. I think he was just there for backup, but he didn't do fuck all anyway. Strangled him till he was fucking blue. And then after that, it all got broke up. Luckily, one of the screws I got on really well with let me into his cell about a week later. Do you remember them great big fucking batteries with the springs on, the square ones?
Yes.
I didn't even need it, but he was tooed up with someone else. So I've gone into the cell, and then I beat the fucking life out of him. He let me in there. I beat the life out of him, and I kept whapping him with the fucking, it was a football sock with this fucking battery in it.
Mm-hmm.
Made a right fucking mess of him. He got wheeled out of there. I spent a bit of time in solitary confinement, and then that was it. I'd never seen him again. And basically after that, I was sort of left alone. Everyone, I don't know, I've always had that bit of, I was little then. I was very little. I wasn't the size I was now, but I just was very ballsy. So, I got left alone a lot in there.
So that was the incident that kind of gave you a name in jail, and from then you kind of put your head down and just cracked on, done your thing, served your time.
Yeah.
When you got out, this is probably the biggest milestone of your life.
Yeah.
This is probably the turning point. What happened when you was released from prison?
I lost my mum. So when I lost my mum, she was the only one who sort of understood me. The only person, every time I was going off the rails, she always, she'd be able to walk in the room and say, "What's the matter, son? You all right?" Or "There's a problem. I know what's the matter with you." And we used to sit and watch Dirty Dancing together, and we used to have like movie nights and stuff like that. Even though I was a fucking arsehole and being naughty, she always used to say I was her favourite. Didn't really say things like that, but because she put so much time and effort into trying to make me good, that she didn't really spend a lot of time with the other kids because they were actually good.
Mm-hmm.
So we were very close. Now, when I lost my mum, my fucking whole life fell to pieces. So I never had a dad. The people I looked up to, so all the people in my life sort of used me. The people I looked up to taught me bad ways. So I'm not saying that I never stood a chance. It was up to me to say yes or no. I'm not going to sit here and say I should have done. I could have said no. My brothers and sisters never ended up like me, but I wanted to do that.
How did you deal with losing your mum?
I went on self-destruct. Absolutely just went on absolute self-destruct. I didn't give a fuck whether I lived or died. I realised that my mum was the only person that kept the whole family together, really. Because when she went, then everyone just split up. No one talked. I never had a family home. My dad was an absolute fucking waste of space. So I just didn't give a fuck whether I lived or died, which is a very dangerous thing. And to be honest with you, I've still got that mentality now, even from all them years ago.
And when you say you went on self-destruct mode, what do you mean? Talk us through that. What happened? What did you do?
Self-destruct. I probably went to I wanted to put a lot of distance between where I was from and where I wanted. I just wanted to get out of the town where I was living because there was too many memories. So I probably went to the worst place in the world, which is in the capital of England, London, which is the absolute fucking pits.
When you come down to London, what happened?
I moved into a pub.
You moved into a pub?
Yeah, I lived in a pub just on the outskirts of London. Again, I don't know if it's right place, right time, or wrong place, wrong time, but there was a bloke who come in. We got on fucking great. We had banter. He used to talk to me about his missus. Well, that day, we just ripped each other to fucking bits, and it was a good crack. We were sniffing, drinking, blah, blah, blah. I had a massive cocaine habit at the time, just because I used that as a coping mechanism. I mean, there was a point in my life where I couldn't even answer the phone, or I couldn't go over to the shop. I needed a line of that, or I needed to have a drink, or the phone was ringing on. It's like, quick, I better have a fucking line quick before I answer that. And then I was, hello, mate, how are you? And it was all happy. So anyway, we had a lot of banter. We had a lot of banter. And then as soon as that man left the pub, everyone was saying, do you know who that is? That's fucking such and such. I mean, I don't know anyone from London. I didn't. I was young. So anyway, about 2 days later, he come back and just said, where's fucking Jimmy? Where's, do I come down again? And then we got to know each other very well. He was a fucking great bloke. We really got on. But I think the thing he liked about me was that I treated him, instead of everyone shitting themselves when he used to walk in, I just treated him like a fucking human. But that's what I've done all my life. Everyone's
The same to you.
the same to me. It doesn't bother me who you are or who you think you are. I've got respect for people. I didn't have at one time, but I've learned that over the years. So me and him spent a lot of time together. Now, again, he showed me the way that he was earning money, which was at the time cocaine. So, I mean, I could get loaded up with anything I wanted from him.
So was he a big name in London?
Massive name. I'm not here to drop names. I'm not going to do that. I've always said, sorry about this.
Sure.
I've always said, if you need to drop names or you need to get famous off the back of other people, I mean, I could sit here now and say him, and him, and him. I think if you need to do that, then you're not your own man. I've got where I got because of me, not because I knew someone or it's just the way I was.
So let's dive into that a little bit more. You started working for this man, I assume?
I wouldn't say working for, I got stuff
Working with him.
Working with, well, now he's too big for me to work with, obviously. But I could get anything I want off him. And he used to use me for certain things.
Like what?
Debt collection, bringing people to him, picking people up for him.
You say bringing people to him and picking people up for him. What do you mean by that?
Dragging people out of bed who needed to be dragged out of bed. Doing stuff to people.
Is there anything you regret doing with him?
There's a lot of stuff that I shouldn't have done.
Can we touch on a few of them things?
I've been dropped things before, let's just say. I've delivered people to certain places and they've never been seen again. I've been delivered stuff and I've had to get rid of that. Let's just say it's a car. They needed taking the bits and dispersing somewhere. Then I've done all that sort of stuff, which didn't put me in a great mindset. But through doing that, I got addicted to doing stuff like extreme violence. So that was another stepping stone that sent me on the way I was sent on. And
for you, was there anything you wasn't willing to do?
There was no holds barred with me. There was if something needed doing, then I used to like smiling now, but I shouldn't. I used to like doing stuff.
Were they paying you good money?
Very good money, extremely well. But I like doing that sort of stuff that other people couldn't do. It made me feel special.
Listen, I know you're not proud of the things you've done, but at the end of the day, we're here to hear your story.
Yep.
Tell us in detail what kind of things you was being told to do or being alleged you done.
Well, allegedly getting chopping things up, getting rid of bodies. The thing is, I was selling stuff at the time as well. I was making a hell of a lot of money selling drugs at the time out of the pub. I was selling I'll come back to that bit actually. But yeah, the things I'd done allegedly.
What would let's cut all the bullshit. What kind of shit did they want you to do?
They wanted me to say someone owed a lot of money. I didn't like getting debts. I never liked getting debts because say you owed 10 grand, you probably wouldn't have it. You ain't gonna have the money. So me coming around to you, I'm gonna end up with the same result, which is gonna be taking bits off you or hacking you up or whatever. So if they used to say to me, right, if you get to 10 and we give you 5 out of that, there was no point. There wasn't any point doing that. So when they used to say, oh, to someone who owes 30 grand, I used to say, I'm not interested in doing that. Wait till it gets to the point where you know you're not getting it, then get me out of bed. See, what I used to be used for, again, going back to my childhood, I was always used for something. So that's just, even if it was sex or selling drugs or whatever, someone always had an angle or an agenda with me. So that's the way I grew up. Now, these people down there as well done exactly the same. So, so what I used to say was, if I'm going to do this sort of work, then I don't want to be out being seen, but just get me out when you need me and I'll go and do that. And to be honest with you, for a long time, I did enjoy that. I enjoyed the
Buzz?
The buzz, doing stuff. What I used to say to them, and these are my words, why don't you send shockwaves through the town? Do you know what I mean? Let them know. I mean, these are my ideas, really. Why don't you let them know you mean business? And they used to say, what do you mean by that? I said, but just leave it with me. And then I used to do something absolutely fucking horrific.
Like?
Hands, feet, fingers, ears, noses, disfigure people. Not very, very nice stuff.
So you'd chop these parts of these people's bodies off? Yeah,
but then that is making an absolute fucking statement in that world. And you know, they sort of liked that a little bit, but was a bit fucking, whoa, you're getting out of hand. This is getting fucking stupid now if you're going to carry on.
Did you ever feel like you was becoming more powerful than them?
That's exactly what I thought. And this is probably what got me in a lot of trouble in the future with them. But there's a story behind that as well.
Are you in a good situation with them at the moment?
No.
Don't get on with these people?
I'd love to fucking have a cuddle with him and say, I'm really fucking sorry. I really am, because they treated me with nothing but kindness.
And
they taught me a lot of stuff, how to launder money. They gave me as much drugs and power as I needed. I mean, I stretched from London all the way back to my hometown, even as far as Weston-super-Mare. Now, there was a bloke called Richard. I mean, this is just on the side. I mean, I was making so much money, I didn't know what to fucking do with it half the time. So there was a bloke called Richard who was, I mean, the people I was even selling drugs to weren't just your average bums or whatever. I mean, this bloke was a fucking HSBC manager. So he had this idea. They were checks years ago. So he used to write a check out on a Tuesday, and there was a loophole. It said, got to be a 4-day account. So he used to write, say, 35 grand or 40 grand. Now, this is going back a long time ago. Now, he used to put a check in on say 5 to 5 or 10 to 5, so it missed a post on a Tuesday night. And on Friday, it'd light up in the morning. Mm-hmm. And he used to go into you had to be a 4-day account, a really good account. Usually a Halifax account was the best. So I used to go out and look for people who had a Halifax account or a 4-day account. 7 days is no good, because they'd have found out. So he used to actually hold the checks back. And then he used to go into the bank, transfer the money and give them, I don't know, fucking 5 grand. And then we used to keep the rest. But these were just little side things that were going on, as well as selling all this cocaine. as well as doing all this extreme violence. So you can imagine where my ego was at this point. Was just my head was fucking massive.
So
But when you're drug fueled as well, sniffing every day, going to the White Horse in High Wycombe where there's strippers on from fucking 12 till 3 o'clock every day, acting the man, giving stuff away, accumulated a million fucking friends. It does get to you. It really does.
Through all the wrong you done to people, did anything ever come back to bite you?
No.
Never.
I did actually have a massive fallout with the people, but that was my own fault. That was my own fault and my own ego.
What happened?
Well, the deal was with these people was, what happens is you take whatever the fuck you want. At the end of the month, you pay.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't pay, we'll sort the problems out. So if say you would, I mean, it did happen in the end. There was a bloke called Phil from Reading who owed 30 grand. And then, I don't know, my brain was different. And I sort of used it as a test. So, I mean, I had the 30 grand to give him. It wasn't a problem. But what happened was, long as he said, you got names, addresses, then what we do is we can go and sort the problems out. We are who we are. Okay, no problem. So it actually happened. So I went to them at the end of the month, says 30 grand missing out of that. Mate, he's gone missing. Who the fuck is he? Here's his name and address. You go and find him. And it was more like a test to see if
Could they do it without you, kind of thing.
Yeah. So stupidly, I mean, I should have just fucking paid him and just carried on working. But if I'd have done that, I'd have probably been locked up for a very long time because of the road I was going down. I didn't give a fuck if I died. Actually, a few things did come back. I had two drive-by shootings. I actually got robbed in Wimbledon as well once. Not robbed as if, I mean, it was 14 grand for half a box. That's what it was. And there was this fucking lunatic. It was a Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's turned up. I didn't know this bloke from Adam. It's not funny, but there's 14 grand. I've gone, boom, put it on the seat of the car, and then he's gone. The money's in. The stuff's in the glove box, and he's opened the glove box up, and there's a fucking shooter in there. He's pulled it out, and he started letting round. I don't get it to this day. I've never understood it, but he started letting rounds off right next to me head, and drove off down the road. Now this is on a Saturday about 10 o'clock in the morning in Wimbledon, and there's all these people walking dogs. So they've this bloke's, the money's fell out of the car. And the money's flying everywhere, and he just drove off down the road. I've fucking stood there, me being me, going, you fucking cunt, who the fuck do you think you are, blah, blah, blah. And the not funny thing is, but I was shouting at him as if, like, fucking come back here. Anyway, he stopped, and the reverse lights went on, and then I stood there thinking, fuck it. And then the reverse lights come on, and then he started fucking reversing back up. And then I just stood there for a little bit, and then it just looked and thought, I ain't that fucking hard. Just fucking ran off, and that was that. And I still don't know to this day, but then that was the world I lived in. Yeah, all right. I robbed a load of drug dealers, but shit happens. You know what I mean? But 2 days, don't get me wrong, I was pissed off, but 2 days later, 3 days later, I just thought, you know what? Who gives a fuck? That's just the world we live in. But it was just unbelievable. He must, I don't know what was left there, must have been about 2 grand in the end.
Did the guys find Phil?
No, they didn't find Phil. Sorry, I've gone off on a tangent.
Yeah.
No, they didn't find Phil.
So that made you feel like, oh yeah, you know what? That gave you more of a boost, no? Because you thought, yeah, you couldn't find the guy that I owed money to, kind of.
Yeah. So then they come back to me and said, right, listen, you owe the 30. And then me being me, drunk, steroids, full of cocaine. Okay. So I said, I'm not paying the fucking 30 grand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I would say something like that. Why would I? Doesn't make sense even now. I should have just paid him, but I sort of said, the fucking deal was, I mean, I was talking to him like a bit of shit. And if they're watching now, I'm going to apologise. I was on self-destruct. I said, the deal was this. You said you were the people. So obviously, I mean, I've been sorting a lot of problems out for you. Are you really what you say you are? And they are what they say they are. But I'm not taking anything away from that. But so then we had a massive fallout about that. And that ended in a very, very horrible way. I fell out with them massively because I was sort of goading them, saying that
what are you going to do, basically?
You're not who you fucking say you are, obviously, because you can't find them. Why should I pay the fucking 30 grand? One thing I will say while I'm here is you all have to bear with me and be gentle with me in the comments at the minute, because I'm still in recovery. I suffer from schizophrenia, neurodiversity, ADHD, and PTSD. So I'm taking at the moment antipsychotic drugs, and I'm sedated half the time. So if I get things wrong or I've go off on a tangent, then just bear with me.
100%.
I'm not well.
Let's take it. Let's move on a little bit now. Let's move on to when you joined the army.
Okay. Yeah.
29 years old. You joined the army.
Can I say something first?
Tell me.
That ended very badly at a Reading services with these people.
What happened?
I went there to die, to be honest with you. So I went to Reading services with a noisy thing. They turned up. He had 2 henchmen with him, and then he turned up and he had one as well. And he said, "You're obviously not taking this very seriously. I want that fucking money paid. It's not the fucking money, it's the principle. We're fucking friends, blah, blah, blah." I'd sniffed so much cocaine and I drove there so fucking drunk. That's when it all ended for me. That's all this lifestyle with women and taking all these drugs and having all this money and power. I always wondered how far I could push it. That day when I finished, what happened? He had one pointed at me. I had one pointed at him. He didn't think I had one, but my plan was, if he's going to do that, then I'll shoot him and then shoot myself. Or if he gets me first, I don't give a fuck. It didn't bother me whether I lived or died. So that was that. But when it actually come to a head, and then I went, I come out of there, I actually did feel fear. I actually shit myself. And I thought, fuck, I'm fucked now. I've just cut off every fucking, burnt every bridge that I'm going to burn. And then when I walked to the car, I thought, all I'm going to do is a fucking loud noise and I'll be dead. So I walked to the car, sat in there for a minute, took a breath, drove back down the M4, picked my wife up at the time. Then we drove to Weston-super-Mare. We just took some bits and I said, we just got to disappear. That's it. And that's the party over. And I remember that day and I'm thinking, fucking hell, how can you just get everything that, how could you have all that and just fucking lose all that?
Because of nothing.
Just because of fucking my fucking stupid fucking head. And I think in life you've got to stand accountable for what you've done, or you can't blame anyone else but your fucking self, apart from your own stupid self. So I went down to Weston-super-Mare then, where I was friends with Richard, who used to romp the banks with. So then I robbed a bookmaker's down Weston-super-Mare to give myself a few quid. And then sat in for about 2 or 3 weeks and didn't move from there. I come off cocaine, didn't drink. And then all these feelings started coming back, the feelings that I never had because I've masked it with so long with drugs and drink and I just fucking had to, I knew I had to sort myself out. So I come up with this fucking ridiculous idea, which was, I thought, where could I fucking hide? Where would be the best place to hide where no one could find me?
So before we move on to the army situation, what happened with the pub? Why'd you leave?
It's not funny, but see, when I was out and about all the time, I was always networking. I was one of these people that just didn't give a fuck about anything. So, I mean, for instance, I used to walk into a pub with 5 people, and then I used to say to the barmaid, "Oh, yeah, all right, I'll have 3 Jaeger bombs for a £5, which is probably usually a Weatherspoons, and 3 pints of cider or whatever." When they turn around, I used to fucking line cocaine up all along the bar, just for the crack, just because I didn't give two fucks. So this was the sort of person I was them days, just dying for some bird or dying for something to happen or whatever. So she used to turn around and get the drinks, and then suddenly she'd turn around, but can't believe her fucking eyes, and say, "Right, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And I used to say, "Well, it's okay, don't worry about it. We do it all the way down this side, and then we come back up here. They don't mind. No one minds all this sort of stuff." And she's like, no, you can't do that in here. I said, "Yeah, you can. Everyone does it." And she can, like, she's horrified. You go, "No, get out. And I used to just say, "I'm not fucking leaving until I've drunk my drink. Thank you very much." But I knew by the time she rung the fucking police or fucking got anyone or whatever, it wouldn't have been, didn't matter. So we all started sniffing the cocaine, had a laugh, walked up the fucking road. But that's the sort of fucking stupid shit I used to do. Even in that pub, I was going to say her name then, the landlady of the pub, there's a bloke called Tony Morgan who had the brewery. Now, he couldn't fucking believe that how much money we were taking in there. I mean, I used to work behind the bar in there, so I don't know if you know the way cocaine works. I mean, you could start small, whatever, say you paid £700 or £800 for an ounce, then I could turn 28 into 40. By the time you done 0.2, it makes 6 point fucking something. It's fucking still ingrained in me now. And then you could be able to take 5 or 6 grams out of it for your personal use, or basically make 40. Then you got £1,600 if you sold them at 40 quids, or do 3 for a $1 or whatever it fucking was. So there was great money in it. But then if you work out, then if you start buying 4.5, then you can take 5 out of each one.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, I could go on, and then suddenly you got kilos. Blah, blah, I could go on and give you. Everyone probably knows how to do it anyway. But so that's the sort of things what was going on. So I always had grams behind the bar and all this sort of stuff. So people used to turn up to get served up at the weekends, but they never used to leave the pub till Sundays or fucking Tuesdays sometimes, because it never shut. And I was always behind the bar, so I was always off doing something, and then I'll come back. But that was the funny thing about it. But there was a time, if you looked across the bar, and if the people that are watching this, they'll know the fucking pub in High Wycombe, and there's a disabled toilet in front of you. But there was office types who used to come down on a Friday. So they'd all sit there having lunch or whatever, and you got all these like 3 people going into fucking disabled at the same time. I used to say, don't keep going in there, for fuck's sake. Why don't you go, just go in the kitchen round the back and just do it in there. Sneaky. I said, just be a bit clever. So I fucked off for 10 minutes, come back. There's no one even in the fucking pub. And it's like, where the fuck is everyone? So I've gone, I've heard all this noise in the kitchen, gone into the kitchen, and then there's just fucking about, like, they're all sat on the side. There's fucking Charlie everywhere, drinks, and there's this fucking bloke with a dog. And I've gone, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing in here? I said, do it sneakily, for fuck's sake. And I said, who the fuck are you? To this bloke. He said, I don't know. I just followed them all in here. I was like, get the fuck out. And the place got absolutely fucking out of hand. But it was making so much money that this Tony Morgan was thanking the landlady, going, fucking great. Yeah, this is like you tripled the fucking takings, because everyone's fucked. So anyway, my mate, Steve Valentine. Sorry about my voice today, by the way. Right. Steve, fucking hell, I named a name. There you go. Said I wasn't going to do that. Now he's probably dead now anyway, because he was a fucking massive crackhead. But now he knew all these yardies, and they wanted Mac 10 machine guns. Now I met this Irish fellow who could get them, because I was always out and about. And if I walked into a pub, I could usually meet or look around and think, right, he's dodgy, blah, blah, blah. Or I was that fucking bold, brash that people used to think he's up to something. And them days, everyone used to talk. There wasn't no phone, well, there was phones, but everyone used to have the crack. Anyway, you could get these guns. And then what I was doing was selling 4 a week. So I was making $2,500 a week off of them, just on their own.
How much would you sell a Mac 10 for?
$2,500. And I was getting them for 2.
Okay.
So just on them, I was making $2,500 a week. So it was like wages coming in.
How many Mac 10s were you selling?
4 a week. Usually.
For how many weeks?
This is, I'm on about for months.
So you were selling proper arms dealer?
Yeah. So I was selling arms in out of the kitchen of this pub. This is getting right out of hand, this fucking place. And I hope someone does comment in there and say, oh, I fucking remember that.
Every week you was moving 4 guns out of the kitchen, not even normal gun, Mac 10 machine guns.
Mac 10 machine guns, but these lads are from Streatham and they were yardies. So anyway, but they would never, I don't know why this, but I don't know for the reason why they wouldn't take 4 at a time. One, but it was like at ridiculous times in the morning. They ring up and go, right, we're coming up in a minute. And I was thinking, it's fucking 500 quid. 500 quid's fuck all now. We could probably do that on a night out, but them days, I was like, yeah, go and get one. Then so I used to ring matey up. He used to drop one off. And then me and Steve used to fucking wait for him. The last straw of the pub when I got kicked out was fucking out of the landlady of the pub, she came walking down because she had noise. Now you got this great big yardie with Mac 10 machine gun. By the way, I'm not glorifying this.
Yeah.
He was holding a Mac 10 machine gun and we was pissed out our heads on that fucking thing. And then Steve knocked all the fucking bullets all over the floor, the rounds. So we're picking him up off the floor. She's walked in her dressing gown. Person I was with at the time, she just fucking turned around, didn't say one word and just walked straight out the fucking thing, straight upstairs, went, fucking out. That fucking bloke, he's doing arms deals in my fucking kitchen. And so it just come to an end. But again, I'm reverting back to addiction, wanting to fucking push everyone to their fucking limits all the time.
The thing is,
even if I was out on the piss, I wanted to fucking push the barmaid to the limits.
You're on that trajectory. You're not. It's only going to end up in a bad way. You're not going to.
Of course, it was.
You're on that. You're in a hole. You're not going to find your way out the hole at that rate.
No.
You were just getting deeper and deeper and deeper in that hole.
No, and that's what happened in the end of that. So then we got kicked out of there, and we went and lived in Twyford for a bit.
So you had mentioned where would be the best place for you to hide?
Right. So the best place I could think to hide was, I thought if I could, I never had no birth certificate. So I married my wife at the time, changed my name. Mm-hmm. Bearing in mind I'm not even allowed to hold a fucking air rifle, let alone be heavy weapons trained and fuck knows what. So I went into the Afghan wars on at the time. So I went into the Bristol recruitment centre and went in there and just said, I'm interested in joining up, blah, blah, blah. And they said, okay. I said, I haven't got that, but I got into selection and I managed to get in there. So that was the actual, from all the life what I've led leading up to that, then managing to get into there was just fantastic. It was, that actually molded me and turned me, it gave me purpose. I thought, fucking hell, this is a massive second chance.
So you joined the army with a criminal record, with an arms criminal record as well, a firearms criminal record, and you still got in the army.
Still got in
Based
there.
on a fake name?
Based on a fake name. I got the passport. What I'd done was send a wedding certificate for the passport. So I got a passport back in a different name, went in with a passport, and then managed to get into there.
And how high did you go in the army?
Sergeant.
How is that high up? Very high up?
Well, fucking hell. It was two away from the highest rank. But I was only acting sergeant. But
So you was high up. You weren't no Mickey Mouse. You weren't just a little.
It was when I got in there again. It was I had nowhere to go. Again, it was. There's so many times, even in the basic training, that I thought, even if I jack now or I fucking don't bother, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? I've exhausted every avenue. I'm in fucking massive trouble with everyone. So, I mean, this is all leading up to mental health issues. And so I managed to get into there, which was fucking fantastic. And do you know what? I thrived in there.
Did you enjoy it?
I fucking loved it. It was fucking great. And do you know what? For the first time in my life, I was someone. I was someone.
And your violence was respected.
Exactly.
On the street, you're hurting people, doing this to people, and it's people are feared of you. Whereas in the army, that's what you're meant to do. Yeah. So you're in your head, you're thinking, fuck me, I'm doing something right for once, and I'm getting rewarded for it.
Yeah, and I was saving the world.
Yeah, before saving the world. Before you was doing mad shit, and you were just getting paid for it.
Yeah.
What was the army like?
I fucking loved it. I thought it was fucking brilliant.
How gruesome was it?
This is the problem I made last time. I think I was a bit too honest last time. I said things. It was, let's just put it this way. I'd come back and I was never the same. I wasn't even right in the head to even go out there in the first place. So when I come back from that, I wasn't ever the same. And I'll be quite honest with you, I've never been the same since.
How long did you serve in the army?
Served about 9, went AWOL for about a year, and then handed myself back in, and then done 2. So all in all, about 13.
13 years. And what would you say was one of the scariest or one of the highlights of being in the army?
The highlights of probably the passing out parade. The highlights of the army was definitely the passing out parade. I mean, we used to sweep rain, paint the grass green. You just had to have a really good fucking sense of humour in there. I was fucking made for it, if I'm being honest. But this is what not pisses me off. But everything I try and do, it always seems to fucking go wrong in the end. And do you know what? Even when it come to a fucking horrible end, I sat there in these 14-man rooms, but I sat there in the cell and just thought, you know what? I've tried to do everything right in my life, and I actually did, and I ended up in prison anyway. So it's just. Before
we talk about how you went to prison in the army, because that's insane. But let's talk about what was the scariest moment of ever being in the army. You served 13 years. Clearly, you saw some shit that fucked you up.
Definitely, 100%. I got blown up on the Gresh River. I'm not going to go into too many gory details of that. I've got shot twice. I used to have banter with my mates actually about fucking hell. And they said, well, we nearly got shot more times than that when you was in London. It's not funny, but I mean, there is another podcast out there where I've said stuff, but I sort of realised that a soldier's story is a soldier's story. So I'm not gonna go into loads of fucking details about everything because I don't know, just not the done thing.
No, I respect that.
It's out there anyway.
What happened in prison in the army? How did you go prison in the army? What was that for?
I was MCTC in Colchester.
What's that?
So it's just like a military corrective centre. So
why'd they put you in there? Because
I was meant to go and finish my recall off. So the civil police wanted to lock me up for 2 years. A year and a half.
Yeah.
The military said to him, "You're under military law, so what we're going to do is we'll keep you. We'll keep him, and we dishonorably discharge him, and that'll be that." So that's what they did. They thought that was brilliant, but I thought I'll only do a year and a half in Civic. But I actually, do you know what? If it was a post in MCTC, I'd actually stay there because I had a good crack in there. It was, and I mean, I'd done a field gun in 2012. And my wife at the time and my little girl, they'd come to Birmingham. We had a week off, and we went and done that. It was all right. It wasn't as bad as Civvy Nicks, definitely not.
And when you come out of the jail, and what happened? Did you think, I'm going to better my life now? I'm a lot older now. You're about 40 odd now. I'm going to better my life now. I'm going to move forward on a positive note. Or what happened?
Well, this is what I'm going to come to now. Is when I come out, I was a very changed man. So usually it was rage, anger, that sort of thing, drug fueled violence. And now when I come out very calculated, psychopathic, if you want to call it that, trained, fit, strong. But I was very recluse.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved down to a place in Seaton, which is in Devon, and I stayed there for a year. I just tried to find out, bearing in mind this is all by myself. I didn't have any help, didn't have anyone. So I went down there and I just sort of worked on myself. I'd self-harmed myself. I wanted to feel pain. So what I started doing was I found this niche of running.
Mm-hmm.
So if I run till I couldn't run anymore, or I trained excessively, I could get the same hit. I mean, that's why I'm covered in tattoos, because I've got scars all over my body. It's a very sad time, because I went through my phone and then I looked at I sort of worked out, every time that person rings me, they want something. Every time that person rings me for an hour, I come off the phone depressed. So every time that person rings me, they want me to do something violent for them, or they still think I'm in that mentality where I want to go and do stuff like that, when really I'm not. So I turned running, training, and physical fitness into something good. This is the point that I was trying to make on the last one, which I'll come to in a minute. But the message what I was trying to get out was, from where I come from, the life I've led, even in the forces, even before the forces, I never stood a chance. And when, I mean, I've been under the psychiatrist of, they say unpack stuff and talk about stuff, but I mean, I'm doing it now, but when you go back through your life and realise from an early age that all this stuff's happened to you, this is the bullet points. What I'm trying to make again is addiction is a massive thing. Be very careful who you look up to, because what I do now is I take young minds. I mean, I'll come to all this now, if that's all right.
Yeah,
you ready?
Yeah, of course,
all right. So I train. I mean, I run ultra marathons. I raise money for SAFA, Op Courage, PTSD UK, Trauma Breakthrough. I've got records of it all. I run for a knife crime charity called Owen's World, which is a knife crime charity. There's also a place I've got in Spain called Busot Bikes. I'm part of that as well, which I use as a retreat every time I feel suicidal or I'm feeling down. Then what I can do is go to this place, which is beautiful, and I can just chill out for a bit.
Is that your place?
There's 3 of us all in it, so. Okay. But that's what it's predominantly for. So what I've been trying to do over the last decade is try. I mean, I've fucked my life completely up, and it's a sad story, really. So what I'm trying to do now is put back something good into the world that I've absolutely destroyed. I've just set a charity up with a lad called Kev Underhill, which I'm going to flash up or whatever on the thing. And this is called Talk and Chalk. Now, we set a podcast up. I'm still in recovery now, but for the last nearly 2 years, year and a half, I've completely lost my mind. This is what fucking pisses me off about when they say there's help out there. There ain't. I've got emails which I've got to flash up for the Royal British Legion. They come out with a mental health nurse, took one look at me and said, "You're a big, strong man. You're running ultra marathons. You look like you're coping."
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm fucking ain't. But he said, "But if you want some curtains or a new bed, we can help you out with that." I needed 14 grand to go to a place called Tom Harrison House in Liverpool. This is the only place that'd take me without going down the sectioning route.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pleased about getting a bed there, but I couldn't get the funding. Now I've gone back to Safa, which I'm going to email. I've got emails off of them as well, which I'm going to flash up. Safa emailed me and said, "Are you doing any running for us this year? You're going to raise any money?" So I've raised thousands for them. And I said, "I'm struggling at the minute, but I don't mind doing any runs you've got anyway, but I could do with some help. Could you listen? I'm trying to get to this place. I don't even mind if you give me the 14 and then I'll run it back for you. I mean, I've already raised you fucking thousands anyway. Could you do that?" And then they point blank said, "No, we can't do that, but we can give you a number to ring that might be able to help you out." But so I've spent the last year ringing around all these numbers with no luck whatsoever. No luck. I've still not got the place that I need to go to. This is why I'm a bit ill at the minute. So that's Safa. I mean, Op Courage, I'm going to flash this up as well. I mean, not Op Courage, sorry. Combat Stress. Now, Combat Stress, I rung them at 4 o'clock in the morning because I had a breakdown while I was running. So I rung them and said, "Listen, I need to come in. I need somewhere to go. I'm fucking going to kill myself. I'm in that much of a state." And then they gave me a number to ring again. All they seem to do is signpost you to fucking different places. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to go through the whole lot of them because then, again, addiction or truth hunting. So I've rung all of them, every single one of them. And all they do is signpost you somewhere else. Now, Combat Stress said to me, "Your mental health has deteriorated so much and you're a Cat A prisoner, so we can't take you." And I can prove that with an email. No one will take me. These so-say people who advertise on telly saying we can help. All we got to do is ring us. Listen, they can talk all they want, but I'm not a man of talking. I'm a man of action. I want something at the end to work towards. So that's where I am with that at the moment. So,
but you are trying to better yourself.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. So,
but of course, you need professional help.
So what I've done now is I've actually set up this place in Spain where veterans can go. I'm still raising money for charities, especially knife crime. That's close to my heart. My nephew got killed about 3 years ago. So they set up a charity called Owen's World. So I've run marathons and ultras for them, raise as much as I can to get bleed kits out. Now, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, me and a lad, and there's about 3 or 4 others, started up this charity called Chalk and Talk. I'll flash that up as well. It's got all the details on it. It's all to do with mental health, sexual abuse. He actually works where I'm recovering at the moment. So I've known him a long time. So what I'm trying to do at the minute is set up a podcast. Not sure the way it's going to work at the minute, but I've got all the details. Everyone's qualified. So say I went there with my story. No one's going to earn any money off it. All the money goes towards say I come on and told this story and said, right, okay, this is where I started. This is where I want to end up. I need 14 grand. And I could get enough subscribers to subscribe to the channel. Then
They'd give you like a percentage of your earnings to you.
Not even a percentage. They would give you all of it if they could. Or say Owen's World Charity wanted to get 5 bleed kits out. They could go on there, do the podcast, tell the horrible fucking story that is. Then whatever they made off that episode, get some subscribers on. The full content of the money goes to the person who...
The guest.
The guest, yeah. So if I needed rehab,
Yeah.
okay, here you go. So that's what we're setting up at the minute, but I will flash all the details up with that. So
how do you see your life? To start wrapping up on it now, obviously we will upload everything you've asked.
I could go on.
No. Tell me, how do you see your life if we're going to wrap up in the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? If we can redo this pod in 5 years' time and I say, what's going on? How's your life been in the last 5 years? What would you say to me?
I would hopefully say that everything's worked out. One thing about me is I've got relentless fucking drive. I've run countless ultra marathons. I mean, I've personal bested a lot of them. I've never won one. I'm never going to win one. I'm not built for fucking that, but I'll have a go at anything and I'll give anything a go. One message I would like to get out as well is all these young lads who are thinking of going down a life of crime, or they're thinking of trying to make quick money or drugs and thinking it's clever. The road down there is fucking easy to get to. It really is. You can walk down that dark road, no problem. But the road back is very fucking difficult. Now, I don't sleep at all. I mean, it's what now? 4:30. Now, I'm usually in bed by now. And I'll get up. I probably won't sleep anyway, but I'll get up about 1 o'clock in the morning and I'll go running for 15 miles to South Harm. And then I'll take medication all day. This is what is at the end of it. There's no glory whatsoever. There's no, there's
you know, that's one thing.
All there is fucking misery. And you know what? When I do sleep, my subconscious kicks in, and all the bad stuff that I've done. I mean, I've had conversations with people that I've fucking hell. It haunts me. It just absolutely haunts me. I take knives all around the house. My wife's caught me in the fetal position plenty of times, shaking, sweating. I'm paranoid. I think people's going to come and get me, which rightly so. But if they do, it'll probably do me a favour, put me out my fucking misery. I'm not bothered. I'm not scared of dying. I'm not bothered about death. I'm quite obsessed with the idea, actually. But all I'm saying is, I mean, I've absolutely made a right fuck up of it and a mess of it. And even though, like, I'm telling all these stories about fucking sniffing cocaine and fucking blah, 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 I'd never do that again. Yeah. It's just not me anymore. All I'm trying to do is good stuff. I don't want any validation for it. I don't want any money.
You've said your part. And the thing is, I hear it and I think it is genuine. It is genuine. There's no, you haven't come on here today to brag about half your shit. Listen, realistically, you've not said nothing. You've literally not even spoke about much of the craziness. Off camera, you've told me the real story you've lived. And you spoke about 1% of it on here. So that shows you've changed. It shows you don't want to come on here and say, oh, I've done this, I've done that. This isn't a bragging story. You're on here, and I think you're on here genuinely for help. This is your form of therapy. This is your form of telling your story and hoping that people can see that you're a changed man. And in some form, it's your apology to the world as well. I feel like you are sorry for the things you've done, and you've changed yourself. And I see that in you. You can see that emotion in you. You can see it's there. You can see you're genuine. You're not sat here saying, yeah, I'm a hard nut.
Not by any sort.
It's you've genuinely turned your life around. And I respect you for it. There's nothing more apart from respect, because it shows that even though it is a struggle, it is hard, but you've done it. You've done it. You're halfway there. You're nearly there. Even if you're 10% of the way, you're not where you was. And that's what I say to everyone. Even if you're 1% improving daily, that's all that matters. So many people put pressure on themselves. They want to be a change man overnight. It's not going to happen. No one's going to change. No one's going to change overnight. If you are changing overnight, you're faking.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as an overnight change.
You can't lie to yourself either. You just got to stand accountable for what you've done. And it is an hard road. It definitely is an hard road.
I don't think there's any more we need to give the viewers today. I feel like we've left it on an emotional note, and I like that. And listen, who knows what the future holds? We might get you back for a part 2. Let's see what happens.
I don't mind doing a part 2. It's no problem. I've not been saying I enjoyed myself, but see everyone on the other one. I'm not just a one-trick pony. That's what. I'm not just some mindless fucking monster who likes to fucking eat people's parts or anything like that. It was the genuine message that I was trying to get out was that it doesn't work out like that. And it might be good fun at the time, or you think you're doing good, but it fucking haunts you. And
listen, you've turned your life around. You haven't got to say any more. You ain't got to redeem yourself to no one. Listen, it's been a pleasure having you here.
It's been a pleasure coming down.
I don't need you to say anything else. You've said your part. You don't need to apologize. You ain't got to redeem yourself. Nah, you ain't got to redeem yourself to no one. I don't want you to sit there and rant on about how you're trying to. That's no one's business. That's your life. No one needs to know about what you're doing in your life. That's you. You're better in your life, and that's all that matters. No one's there to judge you. It's not their life. Half of them are strangers. No one even knows you, and they're sat in the comments calling you an animal and stuff like that. It's not their business. Yeah. Nothing for them to judge. They can't walk a day in your shoes.
You wouldn't want to.
Literally. Guys, if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.